ready to get back on the floor tomorrow, playing a really good Oklahoma team. They're a team but picked by many to potential Final Four team. They got most of their guys back, so we know we're going to have to play great. More than about Oklahoma, it's really about us continuing to get better, continuing to play the right way. Play with just the way that I believe that Tiger Nation wants to see their team play, and that is to leave it all on the floor and keep the ball moving and playing scrappy and playing hard. So that's what we want to do and continue to get better and continue to prove. It's we've got this season's a journey, so it's the next game on the schedule, and we just got to make sure that we improve from where we were on Saturday and moving forward as we just continue to get better.
You mentioned how talented Oklahoma is. Obviously, against a team like that, there's going to be ups and downs through the course of the game, and you have a group that maybe hasn't seen it at that level before. How do you keep them kind of even keel from beginning to end?
Well, I told our guys even last week before we played Southern Miss, because I knew we had 3 kind of quick games in a row, that, hey, for who we are as a team, and I've always believed in this, we can't be too high or too low. We've got to be good every time we step on the floor. We understand that we're not going to hold Oklahoma scoreless, or whoever we play, they're going to score. There's going to be runs. The opponent is going to make runs, and that's part of the game. The key for us is making sure that we weather the storm, whether it's good or bad. We could be on a great run. We still got to weather the storm, meaning we can't lose our minds and start playing a way that hasn't been taught and get unsound or undisciplined. So we've just got to be really level-headed for the full 40 minutes. And that's why we scheduled this game, because you have an opportunity to, for us to win, we're going to have to play great. And if it doesn't go our way, we're going to be able to see some things that we obviously need to do to get better. So that's why you schedule high-level games. And we're a team that we've really talked about that more than the opponent. It's got to be about us just making sure that we're getting better. And I felt we got better from our scrimmage to Lemoyne-Owen. I felt we got better from Lemoyne-Owen to Southern Miss, and I want to continue to see the improvement. That doesn't guarantee wins. That just means as a coach and as a staff, you like to see the improvement go in the right direction.
How do you sense that the team's approaching this kind of a challenge this early? Just from a mental standpoint?
It's just the next game. I mean, we understand Oklahoma's a great team, but look, 48 hours later, we have another game. So we can't get locked into who we're playing. It's got to be about us, that we continue to get better, that we're improving, that we're staying true to our principles on the floor, and we play the right way. And I'm excited to see us just continue to get out there. I mean, it's good that we're getting games, and that we can continue to see improvement, and that's what we want. I think that's what Tiger Nation wants, and just to see a real enjoyable product on the floor.
Josh, for a team that's so young and new, maybe they don't know better. Do you sense an excitement level in them? Because when you had Southern Miss, but this is Oklahoma. This is number 1 in the country with some great players coming to your place.
Mike, I had felt we had good excitement playing in our scrimmage game. I felt we had good excitement going to Lemoyne-Owen. I had felt the guys were ready to go against Southern Miss. And we've prepared the same way for each game, and we'll prepare the same way for Oklahoma, and we'll prepare the same way on Thursday. So, for us, right now, I've sensed a good understanding for our young men that they understand that, we've got to bring it every night. We've got to be mentally prepared. But, again, more than the opponent, it's got to be about us executing our game plan, but also executing the principles that we've been trying to talk and teach since this summer. And we go from there. And look, I mean, we're going to have to shoot better than 3 for 18 from 3-point range. I don't think there's any secret about that. And I do believe we're going to have to rebound better, but we're going to have to shoot the ball. We're going to have to make some shots, and we're going to have to guard them. I mean, I thought we played good defense for Southern Miss, and we're going to need to defend really well against Oklahoma. And on both sides of the ball, we're going to be at a high level.
For a team that's kind of not fighting, but trying to put its identity out there for
Yeah.
the fan base, this is likely going to be the highest ranked opponent that comes into your building this year. Is there not something a little bit extra? I know it's about you, but just 4 o'clock in the afternoon, national television, Oklahoma, Memphis. I I mean, there's something more to this than just a regular game, or
Well, I mean,
maybe not as a coach.
yeah, I mean, well, for us, I mean, I don't have any. I mean, I have the same feeling as I did against Southern Miss this game, and I will on Thursday or Monday after that. I mean, we just got to be good every time we step on the floor and play the right way. That's important for me as the head coach. I think it's important for the fan base to see their team play the right way every time they step on the floor. And playing the right way is just, playing hard and moving that ball and playing with great pace and, just leaving it all on the floor. And again, Mike, there's no you do all that and you can still lose the game. I mean, there's no guarantees. But I think what we can do is if we do that, we can know that we've put our best foot forward to give ourselves our best chance to win the game. And again, not to sound like make it simpler than it needs to be or more complicated than it needs to be, but we got to, we're gonna have to make some shots, and we don't have to take a lot of threes, but we're gonna have to make some open threes. I don't think there's any question about that. I think Buddy Hield's a pro. I mean, I think when you watch tape on him, like you can watch tape on guys, you can say, man, that guy's he's a really good college player, or that guy's going to play in the NBA. I mean, you can see where Buddy is just a fantastic talent, and he's for sure going to be I've never worked in the NBA, but he's going to be a first-round pick. How high, I don't know, but he's going to be a first-round pick for sure. You're not Big 12 Player of the Year without being really good. He's explosive, and he makes tough shots. That's what he does, is he makes tough shots. And they talk a lot about him, but they got some other good players, like Cousins can really play. Big fella Spanger's good. He's tough and hard-nosed. Woodard controls the team. So, we've had a good. We feel we're prepared. We feel we had a good game plan, but in the end, it comes down to some little things here and there, and we know they've got a lot of good players, and they got some good young guys off the bench too, and so it's going to be a high-level game. Game time decision, and we'll just leave it at that. Strictly game time decision.
How important is it to have a big crowd down there? That's typically been an advantage for you in games like this. Do you expect it to be an advantage?
The crowd. We're gonna have a good crowd tomorrow, and they're going to be loud. I mean, I don't think there's any question about that. The better we can have a home court advantage just by being loud. It's an important part. And then for our part, we need to do our job on the floor and play the right way, for the fan base. But, having that type of crowd is always an important thing. And there's a lot of times the crowd has helped us win games just by either giving us a lift or making it so deafening that the opponent can't hear. I use an example 2 years ago in the Gonzaga game versus Gonzaga. They got a shot clock violation. They made it. But it was after the shot clock because they couldn't hear Coach Fuse screaming to shoot the ball because it was so loud in the gym. And I'm just using that as one example, but that's happened a lot during my time here where the crowd's given us that lift to help us win the game.
Have you been disappointed with what we've gotten so far?
No, I haven't been disappointed one bit. I think, from like I've said before, people are excited for this team. And I think the more games we play, they're going to really fall in love with their team and the product on the floor, and we go from there.
Compared to this time last year, are you more comfortable with sort of the direction of the offense? You got Ricky Tarrant in there at point as opposed to last year, two guys who hadn't played in over a year. Are you more comfortable with where it's going?
Yeah, John, I mean, look, I felt, and this isn't a knock on any of the guards from last year because this is I'm responsible, but I think in my first 5 years we've had some really good guards. I don't think our guard play was not as effective last year. It's just the fact, especially to start the season, and that's not on any individual player. That falls on my shoulders, not on any individual player. That falls onto me. However, that being said, our guard play and the way I like to play is back to how we've been playing my first 5 years, and with pace and transition, and it's like Coach Dickey from Oklahoma State last year after we played him had told him when he was at Houston, you know, he said, the thing about your teams always was we had to spend so much time on transition defense because you guys were so fast on getting the ball up and down the floor. We had to, our entire preparation was this transition defense against you guys. Whereas last year, he said they didn't even have to work against that because there was no pressure pushing up in transition. We were such a half-court team. So it's such a big key with guard play, and right now our guard play is doing well. And I've told, you know, I've said it in the paper, and I've told all you guys, our entire key for our entire team is staying healthy. I mean, and we can sit here and talk about anything else. I mean, the guys that need to stay healthy, we need to have them stay healthy the entire year.
You had a lot of newcomers last season, but with this year, the guys that you're bringing in with KJ, Diedrich, even Jeremiah, they've had success at the highest level before they got to you. Does that help you feel a little more comfortable bringing them on board?
Yeah, and I said this in the post game the other day, and I've said it even after Lemoyne Owen. I think, and I'm just using, like, for example, the Lawsons, both KJ and Diedrich. I think they're going to be really good. I think the more game experience they get, the more comfortable they feel, the better they're going to be. Jeremiah Martin, the same thing. Nick Marshall, the same thing. I mean, the more those guys play, the better they're going to be. And because the more game experience. I truly believe that, and we'll see, you know, things continue for those young men to continue to get better. I mean, same thing even with Craig Randall. So the more those young guys get experience, the more they play, then they just get better and better and better, and that's just going to come with more game experience.
So far this season, you've been pressuring with Jeremiah Martin in full court. Are you going to be comfortable doing that against a more experienced backcourt?
Well, I've always said, Jonah, that Jeremiah's, you know, and I've said this before, that I think the fans are going to fall in love with Jeremiah Martin, and he's going to be a fan favorite because of how hard he plays. That's how he played at his high school. He played with that speed, you know, as in terms of that motor. And so we'd be doing him an injustice if we told him to back off, you know, on the motor and play softer. He's an aggressive type of guard, and he plays hard. He leaves it on the floor, so we want to use his strengths to our advantage.